All right, welcome back, guys. It's Tristan here with Serenity Impact again. Today, I have something a little different for us. Rather than doing a typical lesson where I just break down vocabulary and different terms and terminology, we're just going to play a game. But I hope that it's fun so that you're able to still, receive the information that comes from it. So, as you can see, we're playing tobacco basketball. Now, before we get going with this, I have a couple ground rules that I need to lay out. So for starters, the items that you're going to need is a paper ball, obviously wadded up tight. Make sure it's nice and fit. You don't want anything flying loose around in the air. And then two trash cans. Both trash cans need to be set estimately maybe about 10, 15 feet apart. 10 usually does it. And either a trusted student or a teacher needs to relinquish the responsibility of both taking points and holding the paper ball. So I need one person to do that. The way this is going to work with the two teams, we're going to have team one and team two. You can call yourselves what you want, but just that's how I'm breaking it down. Is team one, team two. Team one, y'all decide whoever's going to go first, and every person on the team is required to both read aloud the question for everyone, and then everyone as a team will have about 30 seconds to answer the question before I release the answer to you. So we're going to go ahead and get going. Hope you guys are ready. All right, so true or false? There are only 3 known or suspected carcinogens in tobacco smoke. The answer is false. More than 60 known or suspected carcinogens have been identified in tobacco smoke. True or false? The number of people who die from, sorry guys, typo. The number of people who die from smoking every week is equivalent to an auditorium full of people dying daily. The answer is true. True or false? Tobacco use may affect your health, but otherwise, it's harmless. It ain't gonna do nothing to you. The answer is false. Uh, Cigarettes are responsible for about 1,500 fire-related deaths and about 4,000 injuries every year. True or false? Someone who has never smoked a cigarette can get lung cancer from being around people who are smoking. The answer is true. True or false? Tobacco, does a tobacco plant have brown leaves that are cured and dried? The answer would be true. True or false? A recent study found that cigarette smoking reduces the amount of sexual hormones in a man. The answer is true. True or false? Nicotine is the main ingredient in tobacco that affects you. The answer would be true. It's a stimulant, which pretty much means that it speeds up the body functions, or like the muscles and everything within that are working, the organs. True or false? Nicotine is the only thing in tobacco that is bad for your health. The answer would be false. Tobacco smoke contains just at least, guys, 300 different toxins or toxic chemicals, and about over 60 of them are actually cancer causing. That's quite a bit of numbers, guys. True or false? Tar is burned resin of tobacco leaves. Answer is true. True or false? Lung cancer is the only cancer caused by smoking. The answer is false. It can cause cancer throughout the whole body, but more specifically, in other areas that it's usually pops up in would be like your throat and your mouth. True or false? The number one cause of dying before one's time is using tobacco products. The answer is true. True or false? Tobacco is the number one cause of emphysema, lung cancer, and fatal heart attack. The answer is true. True or false? Approximately 90% of smokers begin smoking before the age of 21. The answer is true. True or false? With each cigarette he or she smokes, a smoker loses approximately 5 minutes of life. The answer is false. Smokers actually lose 7 minutes of life, so just 2 extra minutes. But I mean, that's a big difference overall. True or false? In the US, secondhand smoke is responsible for about 1,000 lung cancer deaths each year in non smokers. The answer is false. It's responsible for 3,400 each year in non smokers. True or false? In the US, secondhand smoke causes 46,000 heart disease deaths each year in non smokers. The answer is true. True or false? Withdrawal symptoms only occur from cigarettes, not from smokeless tobacco products. So if you're if you're doing chew or a cut or any of that, it doesn't affect you, is what it's saying. The answer would be false. It does. True or false? Smoking does not damage arteries. The answer would be false. Smoking causes harm to the inner walls of the actual arteries themselves, which contributes to coronary artery disease. True or false? Secondhand smoke is the third leading cause of preventable death in the U.S. The answer is true. True or false? Nicotine is as addictive as heroin and cocaine. Those are pretty hardcore drugs. The answer is true. True or false? Lowering the amount of tar in nicotine cigarettes will reduce the risk for the fetus during pregnancy. So what they're, in other words, saying is lowering the amount of tar in cigarettes is going to reduce the risk that you are running to the child and a pregnant woman. The answer is false. Just because you're removing a little bit doesn't make that drastic of a difference. It's still receiving those things. True or false? For up to 2 years after a smoker quits smoking, his or her chances of dying from lung cancer essentially does not change. The answer is true. And in fact, guys, it's actually 5 years. Up to 5 years after you're done smoking, this still affects you. At the 3 year marker, you're only about 37% less likely to get lung cancer, but that still leaves the mass majority of it where you will be affected by it, quite possibly. True or false? Common reasons for relapsing after someone quits smoking are feelings of anger, frustration, anxiety, addiction, interpersonal problems, and social pressure, or peer pressure, as we would put it. The answer would be true. True or false? Tobacco companies add nicotine to cigarettes. The answer is true. True or false? If you're around someone who is smoking, it can be harmful to you. The answer would be true. Secondhand smoke. True or false? If you do not inhale the cigarette, it won't harm you. The answer would be false. A smoker who basically doesn't inhale can still absorb nicotine into the bloodstream, and that comes through. You could get it in your mouth, lips, gums, all all of those things absorb carcinogens, which could also lead to oral cancer too. And the fact that you're not smoking doesn't make a difference because you have first, obviously someone smoking, secondhand, someone being around it. And I don't know if you guys are aware of third hand smoke, but third hand smoke is basically where you're in the environment where all of those chemicals that have been smoked through a cigarette or other tobacco made products, it's still in the vicinity. So it's still on your walls. It's embedded in your clothes. It's on the tables, on the carpet, in your couches, on your dog's fur. Like, third hand smoke is just as detrimental, should I say. True or false? Smokeless tobacco will not give you cancer. If y'all have been paying attention, we've already answered this one. The answer is false. People who use smokeless tobacco have a higher chance of getting oral cancer. True or false? Tobacco use is the cause of 24% of deaths in the United States. The answer would be true. True or false? Over 8 million people in the US have at least one serious illness that is caused by smoking. So we're not saying everyone has the same illness, we're just saying maybe, maybe not, but it's all caused by smoking. The answer would be true. True or false? All 50 states in the US prohibit smoking in some public areas. The answer would be true. True or false? Smoking reduces the supply of oxygen in the body. The answer would be true. Carbon monoxide is a chemical contaminated in smoke, as well as reduces oxygen in the blood. True or false? 75% of people who smoke want to stop. That answer would be true. True or false? Smoking lowers your blood pressure. That answer would be false. In fact, nicotine, as I said earlier, it's a stimulant, so it's increasing all of your body's functions. Therefore, there is no way your blood pressure is going to drop. It's probably more than likely going to increase. True or false? When a smoker stops smoking, withdrawals usually last for about up to 4 weeks. The answer would be false. It's actually 2 weeks. Though I will say that, depending on the person, uh, it could go a little bit longer, but statistically speaking, it only takes about 2 weeks. True or false? Everyone who quits smoking experiences the same withdrawal symptoms. The answer would be false. As I said previously, people experience this differently. And lastly, guys, true or false? Smoking causes wrinkles. And this would be true because it speeds up the aging process. Okay, guys. Well, I appreciate you guys tuning in with me today. I hope that the lesson was educational and that you were able to take something from it. Whoever won, congratulations to you guys. And for those who did not get the dub, hey, guess what? You still tried. Congratulations to you too. Well, I look forward to seeing you guys next time. All right. Y'all have a good week. Bye.